Today we are diving into Avatar, and I know absolutely nothing about this show. But I did see Katara and thought, that looks like an interesting build. Let's do this. Katara, the master of waterbending, doesn't have the waterbending mechanic, but she does have a really interesting way to draw cards. And it's also mono blue, so in my eyes that is nothing but upside. This deck works by playing spells on your opponent's turns, so instant speed and at flash. Luckily, in Magic the Gathering in this day and age, there is plenty of ways to do both. We then gather experience counters from doing this, and then cash that in for some more card draw. There is the downside of discarding a singular card, but that's not really a downside these days, is it? Let's kick things off with ramp. We're running the obvious things such as Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, Sapphire Medallion and Thought Vessel, but we're also including the new Water Skin, Decanter of Endless Water and Extra Planar Lens. We also have the beautiful yet sneaky misleading Signpost, along with Naiads and the Water Crystal to help reduce the cost of spells further. Even though we have card draw in our command zone, we are still running plenty of card draw within the 99. Brainstorm, Consider and Mystic Remora are fantastic for 1 blue mana. 3 steps ahead and Archmage Charm are versatile modal spells, and Wizard's Class is also a nice place to sink some mana in the late game. Ledger Shredder, Reality Chip and Fairy Mastermind are solid options for blue creature with draw effects. Archmage Emeritus and Ensuring Curiosity along with Heuristic Study are our repeatable card draw effects. Gadwick is our big X draw spell, which also lets us control the board state. Oh, and we can't forget Frantic Search. This card is perfect for when we're playing on opponent's turns. Also, I should mention at this point, we're running Psychosis Crawler in this deck. Before we dive into more payoffs and win conditions for this deck, let's make sure we vet all of our vegetables first. So for removal, Pongify, Rapid Hybridization, Reality Shift, Resculpt, as they're the bread and butter removal spells in mono blue. We then branch out into Dress Down and Tishana's Tidebinding. And it wouldn't be mono blue without some tempo plays, so let's add in some bounce effects like Snap, Brazen Borrower, or Petty Theft, along with Sink into Stupor and the God tier Cyclonic Rift. Another card that I also think is on that God tier level is Aetherize, as this always catches people off guard, in my opinion. As we're playing at instant speed within this deck, we naturally have a minimal amount of creatures that we will really want to block or attack with, as we want to keep our board state safe and intact. But luckily, Mono Blue has us covered for this. Chasm Skulker, Murmur Mystic, Talrand and the Puppet Stitcher all make sure we have plenty of fodder for both attacking and defending. As our commander triggers when we go to attack, we could use sneaky cards to remove them from combat after doing so, therefore avoiding any potential downsides of losing them in combat. But I say let's use that combat damage as another win con, and just focus on giving our commander some more evasion and running some protection spells. Aqueous Form, Aether Tunnel, Winged Boots are all solid occlusions for evasion and even protection. Access Tunnel, Escape Tunnel and Rogue's Passage, and we can even use Whisper Silk Cloak and Silver Shroud Costume. For more protection, we're playing blue, so we have plenty of counterspells and even the modal codes I've mentioned earlier. We're also using Propaganda to make sure that any attacks that might come our way are gently nudged towards our opponents. So now we're set up to survive into the late game, and we can control what threats enter the board as well as remove threats from the board. We need a clear defined way to win the game. And how are we going to do that? With a good old fashioned dirty combo, just to increase the amount of sodium we can extract from those tiers. Isochron Scepter and Dramatic Reversal is a fantastic combo that we can pull off quite easily within this deck. Pair that up with something like Brain Freeze or Sphinx's Bone Wand, and we can either mill out all of our opponents or just deal direct damage to them all in one go. The only way to make your deck more saltier at this point is to make sure you can win in your opponent's upkeep with this salty combo. So let's make sure we can cast all non-land permanents at instant speed. Emergency Zone, Final Word Phantom, Valley Flood Caller, High Fade Trickster, Vidalcan Ori and Leyline of Anticipation. All of these cards let us do the filthy degeneracy that we want to do with this deck on our opponent's upkeeps, or anywhere in their turn whatsoever. I know this deck doesn't really need it due to the amount of cards we're drawing, but I've added in 2 cheeky little tutors anyway. Fabricate to help us get our Isochron Scepter, and Mystical Tutor to help us get our Dramatic Reversal in those games where our opponents are going a little bit too fast and we need to stop them. The deck has an average mana value of 2.64, and you can see that within the curve, as most of our spells are within 2 and 3 mana slots. Obviously we're mono blue, so we don't need to worry about our colour split so much, but we still need to make sure we're running in enough lands. We don't want to cut those out and risk stalling in the mid game. In my opinion, this is a fantastic mono blue deck. It's a classic draw, play land, pass turn, go type scenario. You want to cast your spells on your opponent's turns, get the experience counters, put evasion on your commander, protection, combat, draw a whole bunch of cards. This way you can keep up with the pace of the table through your card advantage alone, allowing you to draw into your answers, removal spells, counterspells to deal with what your opponents are doing. I've included a whole collection of cards within the considering section. If you do not like combo, then there is a whole bunch of mill cards that you could pair up with the draw and use this as a draw mill deck if that is more your style. You play your deck how you want to play it. Do not listen to anybody else. If you're still watching at this point in the video, all I can say is thank you so much. Please do consider hitting that like button and let me know what commanders you are going to be picking up and building from this Avatar Magic the Gathering set. If you would like to see more deck techs, you can click on the playlist over here. And if you would like to subscribe for more content like this, you can click over here. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your support as always, and I shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye for now.